Hi guys, good day, it's me, Teacher MJ. Our topic for today class is we're going to derive the law of sines. So without further ado, let's do this topic. Once again class, if this video helps, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Now we actually apply class the law of sines if the triangle is an oblique triangle. Now what do you mean by oblique triangle? Now oblique triangle is any triangle that does not contain 90 degrees right angle. Example right here class, we have triangle ABC. We call this one oblique triangle because there's no one angle measures exactly 90 degrees. Example right here class, we have angle A. This is an acute angle. We have angle B, an acute angle less than 90 degrees. Angle C is still an acute angle less than 90 degrees. We have three acute angles. Therefore, class, we call this one oblique triangle or we call this one acute triangle because all of the angles are less than 90 degrees. So let me just recall, class, with regards to the angles before we derive the law of sines. Example, class, this one right here. We call this one acute angle because this is less than 90 degrees. Another example. If you have an angle like this and then it forms a box, therefore, class, we call this one right angle. It is exactly 90 degrees. How about this one, class? What do you call this angle, class? Greater than 90 but less than 180. That's correct. We call this one obtuse angle. So we have acute angle, we have right angle, and then obtuse angle. Let's recall, class, with regards to the triangle. I have given three triangles, class. What do you call this triangle? Now, if you have three acute angles, therefore, class, we call this one acute triangle. Once again, class, we call this one acute triangle because all of the angles, class, we have three acute angles. Therefore, we call this one acute triangle. Now, how about this one, class? What do you call this triangle? You have one angle greater than 90 degrees but less than 180. This one right here, class, you have an obtuse angle. What do you call this triangle? That's correct. We call this one obtuse triangle. Okay, once again, class, we call this one obtuse triangle because there is one angle greater than 90 but less than 180. There's one angle that would be obtuse angle. Therefore, we call this one obtuse triangle. Now, how about this one, class? We have one angle measures exactly 90 degrees. What do you call this triangle? That's correct. That would be a right triangle. Once again, class, this is a right triangle. Now, I have a question, class. Can we use the law of sines if the triangle is a right triangle? Question, class. Can we use the law of sines if the triangle is a right triangle? What's the answer, class? That's correct. Yes, we can use the law of sines if the triangle is a right triangle. But it will take time, class. Once again, class, it will take time. So, if the triangle is a right triangle, better to use, class, the trigonometric ratios, the SOHCAHTOA. Once again, class, if the triangle is a right triangle, better to use the SOHCAHTOA, the trigonometric ratios. Because most of the time, class, we are using the law of sines if the triangle is acute triangle or obtuse triangle. Once again, class, we are actually using, class, most of the times the law of sines if the triangle is acute triangle or obtuse triangle. But once again, you can always use the law of sines if the triangle is a right triangle, but it will take time. So better to use, class, the SOHCAHTOA in finding the sides and the angles. I hope, class, is clear for you, class, with regards to the law of sines. Now let's derive the law of sines. Alright, so let's have the derivation with regards to the formula. Now I have here a triangle ABC. Now what if we draw a line from this angle C going to this side C? Once again, if this is angle A, the opposite side of this angle A, that would be small a, and that would be side A. The opposite side of this angle C, that would be small c, or that would be side C. And the opposite side of this angle B, so we have angle B, the opposite side, that would be small b, or side B. Alright, so once again, I hope it's clear for you, class. Opposite of angle A, that would be side A. Opposite of angle C, that would be side C. Opposite of angle B, that would be side B. Now, what if we draw a line, class, from angle C going to side C, in which the line are perpendicular to side AB? It forms 90 degrees. Once again, class, we call the two lines perpendicular if it forms 90 degrees angles. Example, class, this one right here. I draw a line, an altitude, a vertical line from this angle C going to side C, and it forms 90 degrees. It forms 90 degrees angle. Therefore, class, we call this line, this side right here, okay? This, I will label this one as H, class. H and AB are perpendicular lines because it forms 90 degrees angle. Now, what if I draw a line, class, an altitude from angle C to side C, and it forms 90 degrees angle? Now, what if you find sine A and then sine B? Once again, class, what if you find sine A and then sine B? What would be the value, class, of sine A and then sine B if you draw an altitude? Alright, so let's find the value of sine A and then sine B with this given altitude. Alright, let's do that. So once again, sine A, so sine A. Alright, so sine A, angle A is equal to, once again, class, SOHCAHTOA. We can apply the SOHCAHTOA. Why is that, sir? Because we have a right angle. Once again, if you have a right angle, you have a right triangle. Once again, let me just draw this one, class, for you not to be confused. We have this drawing. Okay, so this is A, small c, angle C. Alright, and then we have H, right? And we're looking for sine A. This one right here, class. This will be a reference angle. Okay, once again, this will be a reference angle, and we're looking for sine A. Once again, apply SOHCAHTOA. SOHCAHTOA. So sine, that would be opposite hypotenuse. Once again, class, for sine OH, that would be opposite over hypotenuse. So sine, that would be opposite over hypotenuse. So this is a reference angle. Opposite, that would be H, and then hypotenuse, that would be B. Okay, opposite is H, and then hypotenuse is B. Alright, let's do that. So sine A, reference angle, opposite is H, over hypotenuse is B. Alright, so therefore, we can do cross multiplication. So understood that there's one here. We can do cross multiplication. Simply cross multiply. Alright, so H times 1, that would be H. So H times 1, that would be H, equals sine A, sine angle A times B, that would be sine angle A and then B. Alright, so sine angle A and then B. Now, what if you're looking for sine B? Now, if you're looking for sine B, and this will be your reference angle right here, so therefore sine B is equal to opposite, that would be H, once again, plus opposite of this angle B, that would be H. So H over the hypotenuse is A. So therefore, we can find H by simply doing cross multiplication. So understood that there's one here. Alright, so simply cross multiply. Let me just write it again. H over A. Simply cross multiply. Once again, plus any expression, understood that there is a denominator of 1. You can put over 1 because that's okay. And then simply cross multiply. H times 1, that would be H, is equal to sine B multiplied by A, that would be sine capital B and then A. Sine angle B and then A. Alright, so therefore, we have same H, so we can equate this one because we have same H. H and then H, so therefore, we can equate sine A, B, and then sine B, A. So once again, guys, we have same H, therefore, we can equate this one. We can say that sine A, angle AB, is equal to sine angle B and then A. Once again, guys, you have same H, therefore, you can equate the expression. This one right here, you can equate this one because you have same H. Therefore, we can say that sine angle AB is equal to sine angle B and then A. Now, since you have B and then A, to make the equation balance, we can divide both sides by AB. You have B in the left side, you have A on the right side, therefore, you can divide both sides by AB. Divide by AB, and then you can cancel this out. Cancel A. So, therefore, we can say that sine angle A over A is equal to sine angle B over B. And that would be our first two ratios with regards to the law of sines. Alright, so that would be our first two ratios. So let's find another ratios for sine C over C. Alright, let's do that. So you pause the video class. This will be our first derivation for the two ratios. Let's have another illustration. Alright, let's do that. Alright, so our second illustration. So let's have our second illustration class. Now, what if we draw an altitude, a line, from this angle B going to side B? And then the line, class, it must be a perpendicular line. It forms 90 degrees angle. So once again, class, I will draw a line from this angle B going to side B, in which this line is perpendicular to side AC. It forms 90 degrees angle. Now, what if you're finding the value of sine A and then sine C? What would be the value of sine A and then sine C? Alright, let's do that. Once again, we label this one as H, and this will be our reference angle. And we're looking for sine A and then sine C. Alright, let's do that. Sine A. So, sine angle A is equal to, opposite is H, and then hypotenuse is C, small c. Once again, class, we're looking for sine A. If this is a reference angle, opposite of this reference angle, that would be the opposite. The longest side, that would be the hypotenuse. Once again, so katawa. So, opposite over hypotenuse. So, opposite is H, hypotenuse is C. Alright, and then we're looking for H. So, simply cross multiply. Understood that there's 1 here. Cross multiply. So, H times 1, that would be H, is equal to sine A times C. That would be sine angle A. And then C. Alright, and then we're looking for this one. Sine C. So, sine and then C is equal to, opposite is H. So, this is opposite H. And then hypotenuse is A. And then simply cross multiply. Understood that there's 1 here. So, H times 1, that would be H equals sine C, sine angle C times A. That would be sine angle C, capital C, and then A. Alright, so we have same H. So, therefore, we can equate this one. So, same H. Therefore, we can say that sine angle A and then C is equal to sine angle C and then A. Now, since we have C and then A, therefore, we can divide both sides by C and then A. We can divide both sides by C and then A. So, cancel C and then cancel A. Therefore, we can say, okay, we can say that sine A, we don't have enough space, because we can say that sine A, sine angle A over A is equal to sine angle C over C. Once again, class, our second two ratios, we can say that sine A, angle A, is equal to sine C, sine angle C over C. Now, since we said it a while ago, that sine A over A is equal to sine B over B, so therefore, we can also say that sine B over B is equal to sine C over C. Why is that, sir? Because we said it a while ago, once again, class, we said it a while ago that sine A over A is equal to sine C over C, right? So, therefore, we can say that sine B over B is equal to sine C over C, because sine B over B is equal to sine A over A. So, we can finalize. I hope class is clear for you, class. Let me just write this one, class, for you not to be confused. We said at our first ratio, class, that sine A over A is equal to sine B over B, right? This is equal, class. Now, since this is equal, class, in our second formula, or second derivation, we also say that sine A is equal to sine C, right? Sine A over A is equal to sine C over C. Therefore, we can say that this B is equal to sine C. Sine B over B is equal to sine C over C. Because A is equal to B, A is equal to C. Therefore, we can say that B is equal to C. So, we can write our final formula. We can say that sine A over A equals sine B over B is equal to sine angle C over C. And this will be our final formula, class. And this is the derivation with regards to the law of sines. And then we're all set, class. Oh, set. That's the answer, class, with regards to the derivation with regards to the law of sines. So the next part of our video, class, we will be applying this formula to find the angles and then the side. And I will just put the link on the description down below. Feel free to see the video, class. I hope, class, it's clear for you, class, on how to derive the law of sines. Alright, so once again, this is Teacher MJ. I hope you learned something new today. If you like this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You share it to your friends and to your classmates so that we can help more students. Once again, this is Teacher MJ. Have a great day, class. Goodbye for now. Bye-bye.